Welcome, students of Europe Hotel School London, or EHOS.
It is so glad to have you here studying online with our school, and I'm really excited to explore today's content.
Today, we're exploring the effective use of colors, typography, and images in menu design. These visual components really transform a plain menu into something that, draws customers in and makes them feel something special.
Yep, absolutely. And it's interesting how these elements, especially color, have a huge impact on how customers perceive quality and even how hungry they feel, right?
Right, exactly. When we talk about color, it's like um, beneath the surface of just decoration. It directly influences emotions. For instance, warm colors such as red, orange, and yellow, they stimulate appetite and urgency, kind of why fast food
True.
spots rely on them.
So then with colors like blue, green, or teal, we're setting a more relaxed, fresh vibe.
Yes, indeed. For example, a seafood restaurant might use blue or aqua tones to evoke an ocean fresh feel, whereas a bakery might go for warm beige or pastel hues to create cozy, inviting
Right, that
comfort.
makes sense. And it sounds like strategic use of color isn't just about the mood. It also helps highlight key menu items, like signature dishes, right?
Precisely. By using a little colored icon or accent text for, say, high margin items, the design directs the customer's eye to what's most important. But you have to be careful. Too many bright colors everywhere can overwhelm the design.
Yeah, totally. Now, switching gears a bit, how do typography choices tie into this? I know fonts are about style, but there's more to it than that, isn't there?
Right, yes. Typography does much more than just set a style. It governs readability, creates a hierarchy within the information, and even communicates the restaurant's personality.
Exactly. So, would you say that a well chosen font not only reinforces the brand, but also ensures that the text is accessible for everyone?
Absolutely. For instance, using a simple serif or sans serif is key for names and descriptions. Bold fonts work great for item headings, and using a smaller, lighter font for details creates a logical flow. It's like designing a roadmap for the customer's eyes.
Yep, that really paints a picture. There's also that idea of consistency. You wouldn't want to mix too many font styles, right?
Exactly. Consistency is crucial. The best practice is sticking with two or three typefaces to keep it clean and professional. Otherwise, you
Right,
risk
yes.
visual confusion.
Now, let's talk about images. How do they factor into menu design?
Well, images are like the cherry on top. A well shot photo with proper lighting and composition can trigger hunger and emotion much faster than words sometimes can.
That's true. So essentially, a great dish photo can lead to more orders by, presenting the food in its best light, literally.
Precisely. And it's important to place images next to the signature or high margin dishes. A strategically positioned image acts as a visual cue that directs the customer's attention, almost like a magnet for
Yeah, I
their
get that.
appetite.
But here's a thought. What about using too many images or overly decorative ones? Could that backfire somehow?
Oh, absolutely. Overloading the menu with images or using subpar quality can actually lower the perceived value of the establishment. It's all about balance. One or two stunning photos placed just right can be far more effective than a clutter of visuals.
Yep, balance is key. And it seems like icons and illustrations also play a role, providing quick visual hints like spice levels or dietary preferences.
Exactly. Small illustrations like chili icons for spicy dishes or leaves for vegetarian options help cut down on mental strain for the customer. They make it easy to quickly identify what they might like.
Exactly. So, putting it all together, the integration of colors, typography, and images must work harmoniously. It's uh like orchestrating a symphony where none of the elements overpower the others.
Yeah, it's like creating a design that not only looks appealing, but also fulfills its functional role, guiding customers through the menu effortlessly. It's important for building brand identity and, importantly, ensuring
Right
that the
on.
design communicates the right message.
And this idea of building a visual hierarchy Using contrasting colors with bold typography and clear images, it really seems strategic.
Indeed, it is. And let's not forget that keeping the overall branding of the restaurant consistent is fundamental. For instance, if you're AHOS student learning from a module at AHOS, you're applying real-world branding concepts.
Yeah, that ties it together perfectly. Speaking of EHOS, it's impressive how this module reflects the practical insights EHOS is known for in the industry.
True, AHOS continues to innovate and provide such dynamic learning experiences. We're not just talking theory, we're offering practical tips like selecting a balanced color scheme, limiting fonts, and using iconography effectively.
Right, really solid advice. And what's interesting is that these principles also extend to considerations like cultural differences. A color that signals warmth in one culture might signal caution in another, right?
Absolutely. Knowing your audience is key. A well-informed choice on color usage can prevent misinterpretation and ensure customers have a positive experience. It's all part of understanding the psychology behind design.
Exactly. Now, I wonder, do you think there's room for experimentation with these elements? Or should one always stick to the traditional guidelines?
That's a good question. While the basics of readability and consistency are vital, there's definitely a space to experiment creatively, provided you keep the core principles intact. But hey, one must be cautious not to sacrifice clarity for
True,
style.
there's a fine line there. I agree. And it really all circles back to knowing your customers, as well as maintaining a cohesive brand identity.
Exactly right. EHOS emphasizes both creativity and practicality, and this module is a great example of how these elements interplay to create an inviting and functional
Yep, that's
menu.
spot on. So, to wrap up, whether you're highlighting a signature dish with a pop of color or using consistent typography to build your brand, the key takeaway is balance.
Right. The balance between aesthetic appeal and functionality makes all the difference. By strategically applying these techniques, any menu becomes not just a list of dishes, but a narrative that enhances the dining experience.
Absolutely. And it's great to see how EHOS is at the forefront of instilling these practical skills in its students, pushing both design and business excellence.
Yep, EHOS continues to inspire us all. Thanks for joining this discussion and keep experimenting with those colors, fonts, and images to create truly memorable menu experiences.
Right, no doubt about it. Thanks for listening, and remember, EHOS is here to guide you every step of the way.
Why is color important in menu design? What is the most important rule when choosing typography for menus? How should images be used in menu design?